Children, now we will look at the conventional sources of energy. Now these sources are being used for a long time and are used commonly today. Now these are the traditional sources of power which are obtained from minerals like coal, petroleum and natural gas. They are called as fossil fuels. Now what are fossil fuels, children? Fossil fuels are remains of dead plants and animals that get buried under the earth for millions of years and get converted to energy due to heat and pressure. And they are usually found in sedimentary rocks. They are exhaustible sources of energy which are depleting at a very fast rate, and they are widely used in industries and are a major source of pollution. Now we will look at the various kinds of conventional sources. One of the major source of energy which is used in the rural areas is firewood. It is extensively used by the people in the villages because it is commonly available. Children, now we will look at some of the conventional sources which we are using, conventional sources of energy which we are using at present. That is coal, natural gas, petroleum, and then dams which are producing hydroelectricity. Now first let us look at coal. Now coal is present in large quantities in India and it is used for power generation and domestic use. Now you can see there are various kinds of coal that are found in India. It is peat, lignite, bituminous, anthracite. But you don't have to go into the details, it's just for your interest sake that I've given it there. Coal is an important source for both industrial and domestic needs, as I told you. It is also used in smelting of ores of metals, in steamships, in iron and steel industries, and also for producing thermal power. Now, coal is a sedimentary rock which is formed by decomposition of vegetation matter, and that is why it is called as buried sunshine. Now, buried, what happens when these large swans and ferns and plants, they trap the sun's rays? Yes, all plants, when to make food, require sunshine and sun rays. So when they trap it and then they decompose and decay and get buried under the earth and for millions of years, and then due to heat and pressure they convert into coal. That is why coal is referred to as buried sunshine. Now, what are the advantages of coal? Yes, it is extensively available, easily available, and gives an efficient conversion to electricity. And what are its disadvantages? It leads to pollution and it is bulky to transport. Children, we'll go to the next conventional source, that is petroleum or petrol. What is petrol? Petrol is that keeps your car running well, and the oil that keeps your cycle from making that squeaking sound. Petrol is also known as crude oil or mineral oil, and it is also referred to as liquid gold or black gold. It is a thick black liquid, and it is a very important and expensive mineral. Sources of energy which is required, it is a nodal industry. That means its raw materials are required in many industries, like in synthetic textiles industries, fertilizers and chemical industries, and it is used to produce fuels for various vehicles. So it is very important. Yes, and how is it found? Where does it occur? It occurs inside the earth in gaseous form, that is in natural gas, or in liquid form, which is crude oil, or semi-solid to solid, that is tar and bitumen forms. And it is formed from the decay of mainly marine organisms over a long period of time within the sedimentary rocks. And petroleum holds an important place in our modern economy. And the rise and fall of oil prices affects the economy of all countries. It is used as industrial power, as lubricant, on refining. It produces petrol, diesels. Then kerosene is used for industry and domestic heating. Chemicals like naphtha, synthetic rubber, plastic, nylon, different chemicals like tar, wax, etc. are its byproducts. So it is a very valuable metal, and that is why it is called as black gold. It's black in color and a valuable mineral. Okay. Children, we will go to the next conventional sources of energy, which is natural gas. Yes, and natural gas is found with petroleum deposits, and it is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. It is used as domestic and industrial fuel. It is much clean, it is environment friendly, and there is low carbon emission. It is used also in the form of CNG fuels in vehicles. And CNG, all of you know, is compressed natural gas, which is very popular today and is an eco-friendly automobile fuel. What are the advantages of natural gas? Now, it is easier to transport through pipelines, it is cleaner than petroleum and coal, and it's cheaper than petroleum. So, and what are the disadvantages of natural gas? It leads, when there is leakage of gas, it leads to depletion of oxygen levels, and the pollutants that are released cause acid rain. Okay, we will go into the advantages and disadvantages of petroleum also. Now, petroleum is easier to transport through tankers, and it is the nodal industry. That means it is required in many industries. So that is the advantages. Again, the disadvantages are the same as natural gas. When there is oil spillage, it leads to depletion of oxygen, and even the pollutants that are released causes acid rain. Children, another important conventional source of energy is hydropower or thermal power. Okay, now what is hydropower? Rainwater or river water is stored in dams and is made to fall from a height. The falling water flows through the pipes inside the dam over turbine blades placed at the bottom of the dam, and the moving blades then turn the generator to produce electricity. This is called as hydroelectricity. Now, what happens in thermal power? The coal is burnt and water is made to boil till the steam comes out, and this steam is then used to generate electricity. So these are some of the conventional sources which we are using today. Now, what are the advantages of hydropower? Is that it is non-polluting. It apart from the water that is being used for hydroelectricity, the dams are used when they store water. They can be used for fishing, for irrigation, for tourism, and it is the cheapest source of energy. It is renewable and inexhaustible. Okay, and thermal power. Now, what are the before I go to the thermal power, what are the disadvantages of hydropower? To make a dam is very expensive, and if we have to make a dam, we need a large area, which means the people living there have to be evacuated and displaced. And then when what happens, it's in a low-lying area, so it gets flooded easily. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of hydropower. And thermal, you know, it causes a lot of pollution with burning of coal. Children, now let us look at some of the non-conventional sources of energy. What are non-conventional sources? That means they are being used in little bit in the present, but in future we are going to use more of them. They are renewable resources, and with the help of modern technology, these inexhaustible sources of energy will be used for generation of power. They include energies from the sun, wind, waves, internal heat of the earth. They are available in nature and are free of cost. They are pollution free and they are the cleanest source of power. These non-conventional energies can help us to conserve the depleting fossil fuels, and they can also solve energy crisis on the earth. Now let us look at some of them. The first one we will see, the non-conventional sources, is nuclear energy. It is obtained by altering the structure of atom, and mainly they use two metals, which are uranium and thorium, which is found in Jharkhand and Rajasthan. So in future, more of nuclear energy we are going to use, and we already have nuclear power plants in our country. Now then this second one we'll see is solar energy. It's already know sunlight and sun heat is used to produce electricity, and popular in the rural and remote areas where electricity lines are not still there. They are using more of solar energy. It's widely used today. The third one we'll go to is wind energy. Okay, where wind is tapped through windmills, mostly used in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Gujarat. Now, the fourth one you will see is biogas. Shrubs, farm waste, animal waste, human waste is used, and they are done in biogas plants or gobar gas plants. You can see where they are producing energy and power through burning of animal waste and farm waste. The fourth one that is recently being studied is tidal energy. Okay, the energy of tides. You can see the highs and lows of the tide. They can also produce energy. So they are found in areas like Khambat, Gujarat coast, Sundarbans. All these they are now tapping to collect this kind of energy from tides. The next one is geothermal energy, electricity produced from the heat of the interior of the earth. So in India, there are hundreds of hot springs, and they are going to use this energy to generate power. And these energy plants have been put up in Manikaran and Ladakh. Children, now let us look at the advantages and disadvantages of some of the non-conventional sources of energy. The first one we'll take up is nuclear energy. Now, what are the advantages of this? This energy emits large amount of energy, and the disadvantage is that it generates radioactive waves, and it is an expensive way of setting up. It is an expensive source of energy. Let's go to solar energy, and we will see the advantage that is an inexhaustible source of energy, and it is non-polluting. But what are the disadvantages? Again, it is an expensive source, and it is a diffuse source, so at times it gets wasted. Now we'll go to the next one, which is wind energy. The advantages are that it is again non-polluting. It involves low cost of production of electricity. Once it is set up, it is clean and safe. But what are the disadvantages? It gives noise pollutions. Windmills are costly to set up. It disturbs TV and radio receptions, and it is harmful to birds. Now we go to the next one, which is biogas. You can see here biogas. It involves low cost. It is easy to operate. It makes use of bio waste. But what are the disadvantages? It causes greenhouse effect. Now let's go to the tidal energy, and we can see again it is non-pollutant and it is an inexhaustible source of energy. But what are the disadvantages? It destroys wildlife habitat, and it is difficult to harness. It's difficult to get that kind of energy from tides. And then we go to the geothermal energy. Again, it is clean and eco-friendly and always available, but the disadvantages is that it is located far away from the cities, so it is costly to transport.